Okay, can you guys hear me now? I think I may have sound. Let me know if I got sound up in here. I think it may be working. Shout out to everybody that's been holding it down in the comments, being patient with me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me now. I think we may be good. All right. Yay. Thank you so much, guys. Girl, look. Look, at least this is not 20 minutes of it. Last video I had, it was like 20 minutes of like no sound. So I appreciate you guys, bearing with me through that. But I could not wait to talk about this, y'all. I've been watching this show. If y'all have not watched the show, Indian Matchmaking on Netflix, y'all got to check it out because it really, really, really opens your eyes to the way other cultures do things and how seriously they take marriage in their culture. But I just get a lot of inspiration from it because, to be quite honest with you, the state of Black love, yes, we're taking a positive turn, but there is so much toxicity and there is such a lack of awareness of how focusing on families and even taking dating per se seriously, that'll really get us to the quote unquote promised land, because when you look at other cultures and see the root of how they started their empires, it all starts with family. And when I watch this show, it almost makes you a little bit embarrassed when you see the way that we do things and the way other cultures do things. But I don't really stay in that long. I know that it's something to learn. And I immediately looked at our culture and what we're not only can able to take from it, but how we already do this. I made a post in the womb school and I said, Seema from Mumbai is the lady that you can see here on the thumbnail. She's a matchmaker in India and she takes it seriously. She brings a face reader analysis. I mean, they do zodiacs, they do compatibility, they do so many things because that's a part of their culture. And I said, here we are leaving things up to chance and we just guessing. But what we don't understand is that just like Indian culture, how they take that seriously and they have those tools, those indigenous tools that they use, we have the same ones. And they are not the only ones. But see, guess what? We were taught that our tools were evil. And that's exactly where we went wrong. When they started telling us that all we had was Christianity and all we could do was worship this and get what master gave you, that's right where we went wrong. That's when they started to strip us from our real power. When you strip people from their culture, you strip them from everything. And when I look at this show, their culture is so steeped into them. Now, listen, we have a large array of what represents Black culture, okay? We're not a monolith, but I mean real indigenous practices that are true to them. When you see Indians, curry, Hindu, you already know what their cosmology is. You know what that's like. When you talk about Chinese people, okay, Buddhist, Tao, and when you talk about Pakistani people, okay, we talk about Muslim, Islam, Sikh. But when we go to Black people, our stuff is so disjointed, and especially when it comes down to what we practice prior to slavery, we couldn't agree on anything, and what we were given was such, not even a bastardized version. They gave us a version that was going to cripple us and keep us under the thumb of our oppressor. So here we are, all of these centuries later, looking at the state of us and wondering why we're the way we are. We're a people that have been taken away from our roots. We can't decide on who we are, where we come from, and all of this stuff. And as a result, you will see the disarray, the breakdown in our family structures, and it is a direct correlation to our economic stability because our family structure was targeted. When you look at this show, you see generations and generations of a culture of people who kept their family values and culture intact. And we have to give ourselves some grace and patience. And I'm not throwing us under the bus because, listen, They were not targeted like we were. This is not the agenda to tear apart the Indians. No, this was the agenda to tear apart the Black family, break the Black woman, pit the Black woman against the Black man. That's what we got. So they weren't targeted like that. Okay, that's not their agenda against them. But for us, it is so clear that it was already part of the program, that we had these bastardized families, these broken families, all of these years later. And when you look and see the matchmakers on here, both sides of the family, when that girl and that guy come together, the mom and dad, it's so many correlations you can see with education and how serious they took that and how serious they take marriage. Both sides of the family usually got a mom and daddy. Now, I'm not talking to the Black Huxtables tonight and everybody acting like they came from that two-parent household. No, it is a big difference statistically. With Indian households, they got a lot more two-parent households than Black people. We were already clear about that. But when you see these people married for 20, 30, 45 years, and I'm looking around the Black community, that is not typical for us. And if it were, we would be looking different in all facets of our life. So what can we learn from these Indians and matchmaking? And it really hit me one episode that not only do they use zodiac compatibility, looking at the different families, looking at also the face reading analysis, they go into rituals even if they see that you got some negative energy on you. When I saw that, I just smiled. Because see, this is a part of what I practice. And if you know hoodoo, voodoo, anybody that practices Ifa, if you practice, the ones out of northern Ghana like Kali, you already knowing about this. You already know what it looks like to make those sacrifices and do those rituals and make those prayers and burn those herbs. You already on that. That's where your level of consciousness has you now. A lot of Black people not on that. They still looking at that type of weird, right? So when I saw the one guy they were working with, they did a reading just like we do divinations in Ifa. We do readings to see what's going on with you, what is going on and stopping you from attracting love. They did that. But us, we barely bumbling around out here, don't know what's going on, being attacked spiritually, got spiritual juju on us that doesn't work for love, work for business. And we don't have to stay in that state if we know how to use our stuff. Remember, the last broadcast I talked about healing and herbs. We used to heal them. This is something we also used to do. They knew to come to the slaves first. They took it away from us because they knew we were too powerful when we used our hoodoo voodoo magic to kill massa. That's what we used in the Haitian Revolution. Okay, we use that to kill and oppress and regain our power. So they already knew that. But when they needed something, they knew what worked, and they came knocking on our door for those spells. They seem to know, they know our power and our stuff better than we do. Here we are years later, but that's our history, y'all. And now we got all of these Beckys and Brads playing with crystals and witchcraft and selling it back to you. Yes, they call it zodiac astrology, but that's just a language. Our people, we use the elements. We talk about compatibility from a divination standpoint, and as your souls, why they're compatible, if they're compatible, what your ancestral story looks like. That's stuff that we haven't been taught, y'all, and we've been separated from it. And we can see if we only used our sacred geometry and our own tools, we will be a lot further along. That's what they doing. They real serious about it, but they're very much in touch and intact with their Indian culture. And this is that time where, if y'all don't know, that we are in such toxic levels in the Black community, but we also are getting those people that are bringing solutions. If you haven't noticed, this is that tipping and turning point when now you have that opportunity to get real Black, to get real African, to get real indigenous, because the Native Americans, they do this too. This was us here. This was us in Africa. This is the indigenous approach to any culture you go to. So we don't have to be arguing about origin. We don't have to have the origin argument. Are you practicing with nature and spirit and using your original indigenous tools to bring you success and love? Or are you thinking that this is something weird? That's the real question. Let me get some water real quick. Shout out to everybody joining. Yeah, I wanted to do live stream, podcast style. It's a little different. I like it. I had to say a lot because this is where we're failing, y'all. We not using our stuff. I've used this over and over again. And I made a message on my YouTube the other day. If y'all are tired and you really know that you want to start building, we're not made to do this alone. What's happened is that we've been so messed up with our trauma after all of the generations of abuse. We don't even want to love no more. Our vibration is all off. And that's not even just with love, y'all. It's health, it's business, it's in life, happiness, it's all of that. And so if we want to act spiritual, let's act spiritual. We got all the unks on and all of this type of stuff. But what are we doing to really tap into that spiritual realm as Black people outside of watching documentaries, getting online, arguing with people all day long? That's not what this is about. Your consciousness should have you walking through life fully in power and empowered. Meaning you got a sense of self where if you got something popping off with your health, you don't like how life is, showing up for you, you can go to the root. You got solutions. Like that is what the real gag is. And when they gave us stuff and ideologies that didn't work, we're going to these places, these churches, signing up under these ideologies that don't work, that don't give us real solutions at all. And so when I look at Indians and how they've retained their culture, there is something intrinsically powerful about practicing your stuff that's true to you. If you're confused about who you are, then you're going to have some trouble there. But guess what? If you're trying to get a blood transfusion, if you want to add any new body part, if you want to integrate something like that, you have to use the people's blood type that's for you. You have to go to what's wired for you. And so the same thing with us. We always talk about if you can't use a comb, don't bring it home. Our health and our dietary habits and needs are different as melanated people. You have to understand when you use what is made for you and what is in your DNA and what your ancestral code says, it's going to work for you differently. Your life is going to show up differently. When you are using other ideologies that were given to you to keep you crippled, you're going to keep getting those same results. And that's where we are. Look at us in our love life. We've relegated ourselves to just toxicity, trading back and forth, whack love dating rules that just go into not feeling empowered. We still ain't building no Black Wall Streets with mom and pop shops, which is where that originated from. That's the basis of Black Wall Street, is the Black family, is that unit coming together. That's what Indians are doing. They're looking at the families on both sides because they know the family and anything and success and wealth you want to have, it starts with the man and then the woman. I mean, and so we're going to walk around here being conscious, but we haven't come together or even taken that initiative to what we need to do to spiritually come together. You can't tell me you conscious, but you arguing all day with men and women. You got vitriol for the Black man every time you opening your mouth, sis. How spiritual are we if we can't come together and really create these families and create this dynasty? How are we really looking with Black liberation? We're looking like we're at the head or at the end of the line. We're at the bottom. And so Dr. Layla Africa and all of our master teachers, they told us over and over and over again, it's the family. But we want to act like that it's about being out here trending and tearing down each other. We're losing, y'all, when we don't use our stuff. Rituals, prayers to get energy better aligned for you. We use these words like energy, but we haven't wielded our power to even get them to work for us. And so it seems like a lot of people that are going around in circles and that don't really know how to connect with what our stuff is. So what I said I was going to do is for people that are very, very, very serious about this, you want to use your stuff. I've used this over and over again for all facets of my life. I'm not scared of hoodoo voodoo. I'm not scared of Ifa. I'm not scared of divination. I'm past that, y'all. I wear my natural hair. I work for myself. Like, I'm past all that Judeo-Christian fear-based thinking around African spirituality. If you're one of those people and you're like, listen, I know that I have some weird energy on me right now. Like, I want to be married. I want to be in love. It's not happening for me. What's up? That's the way it is. That's the way we start to recognize we need something more. You don't have to sit with that. You know, there are real techniques, there are tools for this, y'all. And that's why, you know, I bring that to the Women in the Womb School. But for people that are single, I want serious Black singles right now. If you're really serious about learning about rituals, getting some for yourself, even if it's health and business, y'all, I can't live in the dark with people that's scared to talk about this. I do open this up in the womb school. It's a part of the curriculum, but I learned that being hush hush about this is not going to get us anywhere. It's just not. Like, this is the time to really, really get bold and in your face, because they're very bold with it. But here we are on the sidelines watching them get success, and we don't know why we losing in our family department and building these great economies and taking part of industries. You can't do it by yourself, and you darn sure not going to do it at war with your counterpart. So as long as they push toxicity in the programming in our faces, that's what is going to become our consciousness. But when you look at other cultures and what their programming is, I said, look at this child. They got the end is just is wholesome looking. That's what we see, and how they build in their marriages, how there's family planning. And what we're doing out here is playing a crapshoot. We're taking a chance. We're bumbling around just thinking that it's going to happen to us because we want love to happen. If you don't know about this, if you think that all of this is silly, you are really mistaken. All of the stuff in the sky, the elements, it plays into who you are. This is psychology. This is science. All of these people on that show that are single, they got degrees. They're doing well in their life. They not turning their nose up at astrology and zodiac compatibility because they understand it's a sacred science. We the only ones sitting up here can't agree that there is a higher knowledge and there's a real sacred geometry to everything around us. If we haven't made that connection, that's just our fault. And for people that say, oh, I don't think anything's to that, I just laugh because all the other cultures are knowing this stuff, but Black people we still want to hold on to that Jesus, keep drinking the Jesus juice so much that we just don't want to see nature. We don't know whether we up or down. We don't know whether we want to get crystals, but when you go talk about the psychology of who you are, as said by the stars, the elements of earth, fire, water, and air, earth, wind, and fire try to tell y'all, we really? I just be blown away. And I break it down from a psychology standpoint. We all have a temperament. That's where the study of psychology and temperaments and personality types came from. There were 4 quadrants: sanguine, phlegmatic, melancholy, and choleric. Those were the 4 temperaments of psychology. They are based on the 4 elements of nature. Okay? They got it from nature. And here we are thinking that they made up something. This is what our ancestors studied. How you were, the month you were born, what that means. Child, we done sat up here and let these people sell this stuff back to us and take us away from, we didn't let them take us away from our indigenous knowledge. It was taken from us. That's why we're so ignorant. Okay, because it's not all our fault. That's why we're ignorant. But I'd be darned if we don't just watch all these cultures in front of us do all of these things, use their stuff, and just keep winning, and we not taking no notes. Y'all, it started when they disconnected us from our spiritual tools. That's why they didn't want you to continue practicing voodoo, because that's what overthrow the oppressors. That's why. Everything, like you said, Taisha, coming for us 4 seasons, baby, it's symbolism all throughout the Bible. The astrology is throughout the Bible. The zodiac signs are throughout the Bible. The wise men followed the North Star. They didn't have GPS. So you just gonna act like the stars in the sky ain't got nothing to do with you when this was everybody's life. Before Christ, All throughout the centuries, our ancestors, everybody knew about nature, tracking nature, understanding nature, and you're gonna tell me it don't have nothing to do with you? Nature used to feed us, it healed us, it told us what time to get up. This is the Farmer's Almanac. So now we don't know what the constellations in the sky got to do with us, child. And we're dismissing everything around us. That's what I see. These people have retained their culture. When you retain your culture, when you use a little bit of that hoodoo voodoo magic, honey, with your stuff, start practicing your stuff again. And that's what gets us ahead, because it's fine-tuned to you. This is what your ancestors practice, honey. Everything that was prior to slavery, anything that was given to us by an oppressor that was a spiritual or a religion, it was used to cripple us. I like seeing that we have shows like this, because again, I watch it and I see how we're just completely in the dark, just throwing ourselves together, thinking that it's no rhyme or reason to compatibility, love, even business. And it is. We know that it's like that in business. We know that it's like that in health. You know that there's a science to how your body works, where there is a science to who you're supposed to be with, how you're supposed to connect, what's going on with you, why it's not popping off for you. There's a reason to all of this stuff. And just because you live in the natural realm with what you can see doesn't mean the things that you can't see don't exist. What are you doing? That's why I say you just wearing the ankh. You don't want to really tap into the spirit realm. As Africans, as indigenous people, the three realms of life that exist are nature, spirit, and ancestors. This is if you're Indian, Native American, indigenous, those are the three realms that they concern themselves with, that they go to. Those are the three realms that again are around us. Is nature, spirit, and ancestors. Those are where your answers are. When you need something to be done, when you need the forces of nature to work for you, when you need those bad spirits, you can just feel bad energy around you and just stuff not happening the way you want it to happen. That's real. Those are real energies. You need to find out and get a spiritual diagnostic as to why, the who, what, when, and where. We know, some people think that you got to believe in that stuff for it to work. That's not how it works. You don't have to believe in the law of gravity for it to work. You can step off a building, go to the top floor, step off, and you'll find out if the law of gravity works. You don't have to believe in it. It's a language, honey. It's science that exists, whether you believe in it or not. And this is the same with analysis around your compatibility, your personality type, your zodiac sign, your date of birth. Those numbers mean something. The birth month you came here means something. The way the planets were aligned when you were born means something. This is what they did. They did more than just taking pictures of the baby and all of this type of stuff up in the hospital. When you were born, that meant a lot. That gave people an actual code and calculation of who you incarnated to be. So when you take people's knowledge of that, you take their knowledge of self. So you think who you are is just your name, where you grew up, your mom and daddy, da-da-da. It's way more than that, y'all. So much more than that. And it's so much more to our spiritual practices than bumping around, allowing us to have this gender war, not creating real family units. We have to see that this is another game that's being played on us, y'all. We are being duped. They're around here building wealth, families, enjoying themselves, going on cruises, doing well, honey, both sides of the family. This is our time to use the same thing. We over here scared to ask somebody a zodiac sign, and here it is. You got the whole cheat sheet to who you are, what you like, and what does and does not work for you. You can read somebody like a book knowing just enough of their numbers, but we think that's craziness. No, what's craziness is we walking around here built like ants from Disney's Pixar, every type of caricature, going and get BBLs, arguing all day long, don't know how to connect with the opposite sex in our way psychologically, walking around here acting like that we got it together when we the most traumatized people on earth. That's what I see something wrong with. That's what I'm scared of. I'm scared of what we're looking like, thinking that we got it together. That's what I'm scared of, is us walking around not knowing who the hell we are and why we've come, and we playing like we grown, going around here having sex with all these people, making soul ties and you don't know who you are as a soul and what works for you. Come on. We got to do better than this. I'm excited about it, but I see how we're being duped. I've used this many, many times. Readings, divinations, rituals, being able to see the practices that really bring forth power. If you scared of sacrificing chickens and what that looks like and blah, 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 but you going to church on Sunday and drinking the blood of Christ and you doing voodoo, but don't know you're doing voodoo. Like, I can't play with you right now. I'm not going to play in your face when all the other cultures are using your stuff, selling it back to you, reteaching you, and you don't know you are the originator of this science. You don't know who you are because, again, we've been taught that this was evil. Every time they get us when they take us from source, we gave back our power to heal ourselves. So now we lined up at the doctor's office to get something suppressed and not dealt with that we could have easily got fixed with a few herbs, a few vitamins, minerals, and some nature-based thing that we could have reversed a real serious disease with, but we got to go lining up to the white coats and let them give it to us again. So here it is with dating and love. We're at a big, big impasse right now, y'all. It's either we're going to keep on with this toxicity. I mean, you're going to get old. Life will tell on you. The great equalizer to this is wealth, your health, and the state of love in your life. That's going to bring you to your knees and humble you. That's the great equalizer. Everybody wants that. That's what I mean by equal across the board. Everybody wants that. And the success, the way you dictate your success and how it's going, you need to look at those areas. I have people this week that I'm going to be talking to, that responded to that. If you're a serious Black single, and you're real serious about getting that energy off you and stuff like that, like, it's time for us to talk about that. We're having a Zoom call as well. You need to email me if that's something you're like, you know what, I feel something resonating with me about this. Send me an email at artcathy@gmail.com or go to artcathyofficial.com and just, fill out the form and let me know. But I do want to get serious about giving those tools. And this is not just for love, y'all. This is for, resources, financial increase, your health, because that's the missing diagnosis too. You can take a lot of herbs, but again, you have spiritual forces that dictate your physical experience. So when things are happening in the spirit realm, they show up in the physical realm. And again, that's with love, business, and health. When things are going on funky for you and you got some unclean mess happening for you spiritually, it's going to show up for you in the love realm. A lot of y'all don't know why the hell you can't attract somebody good right now. Why I can't get things to happen for me. It is some real spiritual strongholds that's got so many of you where you can't even be open to love. You can't be open to progress or open to anything that's abundant, because there is a real stronghold that's on us as a society and darn sure as Black people. If you don't know how to come up out of that stuff, you're going to be sinking with it. And as long as they keep you thinking that this is evil, is demonic, just like they did with all the other stuff that was originally ours, we're going to keep losing. The answer is in your ancestors. It's in your stuff. It ain't in their stuff. It's in our stuff that works. And they signing up to get divinations, and they be on the sneak going to the Ephah priest too, honey. Becky and Brad, they know. I see them. They're always on the continent. They're always getting that work because they know. A lot of them know. And a lot of Africans know that are even, that they may not act like they know, but they do know. It's a lot of people that practice tradition, but I see a big disconnect still with us. And I will not be silent about this because we've got too many good Black people that are not connecting because they've got just a lack of knowing their tools. We here to win, but it ain't about all of that. I ain't here to pep rally you. Yeah, we're the greatest. No, we're the greatest when we start walking in our power and in our stuff. That's when you become the greatest. That's why we can look at Indians and their culture and their dynasty and their ability to create healthy family structures. That's why we can look at them and take a few notes because they're practicing their stuff, y'all. If you haven't checked out this show, y'all check out this show. It will make you embarrassed at how we even approach love and marriage and dating. You don't even want to talk to half of these Black people now. They got everything in the way. That's why I'm like, y'all need to be dipped in some herbal baths, spiritual baths, get some juju broken from y'all, because it ain't working. And I've sat up here and watched how this happens like clockwork when you do certain rituals and do things for your life. It opens those energies up, you guys. It opens things up, and you don't have to sit acting like you know it all. That fear-based thinking, connect with people that know what's going on. Don't let these Indians just run circles and all other cultures be indigenous more than we are. We holler about we indigenous, but this is how we need to get indigenous now. This is that missing link, I think, for us that could really, really change the game. I know it's the game changer. This is probably a conversation that's very premature too, but it's some circles of Black people that are open to this. And I wanted to open up the lines of communication and let you know we got resources for this. We have resources for this. We're going to talk about more of this on a Zoom call. Send me an email, because I've sent out some emails to serious Black singles that really want to start getting their energies right. You're not meant to do this alone. It's time to build nations, y'all. Oh my God. Do you know how great it is to be with Black men and Black women when you building together? Everything I think in my life that's been great over the past 10, 15 years consciously, and that is even more than that, even in my first marriage, it was with a Black man. The best things in my life I've built. I'm more beautiful when I'm with a Black man. I do more. I accomplish more when I'm with a Black man. And I know that. And if you don't see that, it's time for you to get out of that funky spiritual space and start vibrating with that. We up here getting old and wrinkly and gray and not any closer to the altar, when you can do a little ritual here and there and sprinkle some of that good real Black people magic on you and start moving things forward, you guys. For real, for real. I started with reading people and their birthdays. That's very important to knowing who you are, how you've incarnated, the month and time, and all of that stuff you were born with. That gives me a very good GPS of what works for you, what doesn't work for you. And if you don't have that type of insight in your life and that type of coach on the sidelines to see what you need to do, you're really missing out. Okay? This is a part of Indians' life. This was what they do. This is nothing. This needs to be normalized, like us going to get our hair, our braids tightened, our hair done, a line up, a sew in, a fill in. Going and getting readings and divinations are so much a part of a lot of people's culture. But honey, Black people, we stay in the dark with this stuff and don't be knowing what's going on for us spiritually. So I highly suggest you guys, send me a message and let's link up on that level so that you can have some access to these tools too. Okay. I just appreciate everybody that did join. If you have questions about any of this, if you're a woman and you know it's time for you to be married and you know you're ready to get off the singles market, like, and you're serious about how you want to create your family, you need to be a part of this, because I have seen a lot of us, we just got some funky energies around us and we don't know what to do, and we're trying to Google it and do it the wrong way. There is a wrong way to do this too, and I see us doing it the wrong way, okay, and trying to get bigger results, and you can't get the results you want if you're doing it the wrong way. It's so many things we've got going on. I have that Zoom call I'm inviting you to if you're a serious Black single. We're going to be doing that, and I want to do a one-on-one with you to find out more about you, to learn what you're looking for, and then we can talk about this process of what ancestral matchmaking is and what rituals you possibly need, and just get you in the loop. So no pressure. I got to say that to Black people because we scared of everything. But hey, these Indian people, they be going to the face reading analysis and the zodiac astrologers and all that stuff. They ain't blinked not damn one time. And even if they don't believe in it all the way, they know it works. That's the other thing I respected about them. They were like, look, I don't understand all of that, but because they have such respect for their culture, they haven't been taught that their culture and their practices were evil. They're already open. But us, man, it's so much work. We think everything the devil, but honey, we got the devil in us and don't know how to connect and get husbands, wives, and live in peace. That's the devil. That's chaos. So I think it's time for us to check ourselves and see that this is a real great opportunity. Watch the show. See how serious they take that zodiac analysis. You need to take that seriously too. It's people out here that just aren't right for you. It's scientific, honey. Okay, whatever you think you know, cast that to the side a little bit. Go a little bit deeper when it comes to compatibility, because there are many, many facets to analysis, and we don't really know that. Okay. We think it's just about your sun sign and just one aspect of it, and that's true. But you have a moon, you have a rising, is many things in the sky. You have more than just the sun. So you have more than just your sun sign. I'm more than just a Sag. I have a Pisces moon, a Virgo rising. There's many things to me and many things in my chart that tell me who I am, why I've incarnated, what energies work for me, what my strengths, what my weaknesses are, and it helps me understand other people better. When I started to date people, and I know what energies work for me in our, love language. Love languages are even a representation of the different temperaments and our different needs and traits that we have. So we know about love languages, but all of those love languages are based on elements and traits within different elements of fire, earth, water, and you'll see that in different ones, which signs resonate with certain love languages, because it follows along that science as well. So I can get into this all night. I'm just so glad you guys joined me. If you're just joining, I definitely want you to hit that replay. Be sure to like this video too. I've got a lot of you on here joining me live. Be sure to like and share. And thank you for subscribing too. And everybody that's hitting up donations every once in a while. I really appreciate that, because this is wisdom from the ancestors, and I don't have an ego about it. I'm just very clear about it because I'm excited to see what's worked for me. It's helped me in love so many times. And I see my brothers out here and sisters that are so, I can't say they're deserving. You get what you put energy into. And if you have been given the opportunity many times and you haven't moved forward, you really are going to get what you act upon. Okay. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thank you for joining me. I don't know how long I've been. Okay, yeah, 42 minutes. Yeah, I didn't want to get to an hour tonight. But if you have any questions about our trips for dental, we got dental in December. We're going to Mexico. You got a 6-day package, $9.99. I was talking to some of my people about that. The roster does close soon. So if you want to go dental in December, that's great. Sign up for that. We're getting our teeth fixed, honey. We want to get our spirit right for love, get your body right, health right, and teeth right for love. And those are really great group trips. And so Ghana is popping as well. So if you guys just want to be connected with like-minded people and just start moving forward, she said, mask are coming off, fix your teeth. Girl, it's amazing how much your teeth and not feeling good about your smile really can hold you back in life. I've had my journey with that. So if you really want to start that journey, let me know. If you need implants, veneers, all of that. We actually have some options now for places we can travel, even if you do not have the vaccine. So we have unvaccinated destinations for our dental tourism program. So reach out to me for that as well. And so again, ladies, I want you to join the womb school that, will give you that support, spiritual support. Reach out to me if you're a serious Black woman or man that's single and you want to build. Honey, ain't nobody trying to put nobody in your face right now. So chill out. We need to get your energy right. We all scary and don't even want to say we need help. And that's just foolish. Don't want to invest. All of this type of stuff. Thinking oh, girl. Indian people didn't do that. They invest in themselves. They don't have those hangups about their practices. So it's important for the people that vibrate at the same level that I'm vibrating at. If this hits your soul in any way, reach out to me. If you're still on the fence, honey, stay off, and make sure you reach out to me when you're ready. Okay. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys so much. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you guys soon.